A cloud of death envelops Herculaneum, killing more than 300, including the soldier. Like the other victims, his skeleton shows evidence of exposure to extreme heat.
So there's significant signs of burning on this body. You can see the dark charring that's on the back of the left shoulder, the back of the head, and coming down to the arm. And these areas are really quite significant, showing there's been extensive exposure to heat of these areas.
But what explains the position of his hand?
So when you look at the left hand, it's not flat on the ground. This left hand is curled in, as though he's desperately trying to crawl his way as a last gasp effort to get away from whatever is happening, the thing that finally killed him.
It looks like he's crawling away. But Pier Paolo Petrone has seen it before and has a scientific explanation.
The contracted end is found everywhere, something like this, with everyone, with every individual. And that's just contraction induced by the heat, by the high temperature. So all people has hands and feet completely contracted.
But the soldier's death differs in one important respect. Unlike most of the others who were trying to seek shelter, the soldier stood his ground in the middle of the beach. The question is, why?
It's quite possible that he was on his own because he was ordering people, instructing people to seek cover. I think he was managing the evacuation process. He was looking after all these people, and he was trying to do his best to save as many people as he could. Now, when he heard the cloud, the rumbling of the cloud coming, he was barking orders, getting people to race in to the vaults to try and save their lives.
A soldier is standing here. He doesn't move. It's easy to imagine him standing here, yelling at everybody to get themselves into the boat vaults. Make yourself safe. Get in there, protect yourself. But he doesn't move. He stands here, and he's found right there.
So what would have happened in that last final split second? The heat would have caused his skin to dissolve. Underneath his skin, the muscles would have then been affected by the heat. They would have been drawn out. The fat that was in the body would have begun to burn, and that would have helped burn the muscles away. And then eventually, we're just left with the skeleton that we see lying face down on the ground.
"2,000 years later, archaeologists will find him on the beach of Herculaneum. He died dressed in his full military kit, with a pocket full of coins. Given the chance to escape, he chose to stay, waiting on the beach with the 300 until the very end.
I think the guy on the beach, I think he was generally a good guy. I'd like to think he was a good guy.
You can see him, warts and all. This was a human being there. This wasn't an ideal hero. Extraordinary times create extraordinary people. And while this man may have been a bit of a down and out in his private life, and it's easy to imagine what he did in his spare time, at the time of Vesuvius, it looks as though he was the man trying to protect the survivors of Herculaneum. I think he was a good man at the end.